So apart from Williams, Haas is the only team that can offer a starting spot from 2023 and onwards. The USA-based team has had its fair share of struggles in 2020 and 2021, but in this current season, we saw that they're able to fight for decent points. Now with that being said, they do need a strong and competitive driver, and Schumacher hasn't been able to prove his consistency throughout the 2022 season. While the American manufacturer does indeed have a lot of problems with the reliability of its engine, it's evident that they need a strong driver to pair up with Magnussen from 2023 and onwards. So, what are the alternatives? The one that would make the most sense is to re-sign Mick Schumacher. True, his consistency has been at a low level as he scored points on 2 occasions only, in Silverstone and in Austria. However, the German knows how to drive the car, and it's evident that he can only get better from this point on. Now, is it worth it for Haas to wait for Schumacher to develop into a decent driver? Well, yes it is. They don't have aspirations to fight for the best of the rest as of now, and they're currently sitting in P9 after being in P7 at one point in the Constructors' Championship. It seems like Steiner has recognised this opportunity too, saying that as of now, Schumacher does have the home advantage when it comes to the vacant seat. True, in Jeddah and Monaco, Schumacher caused crashes that were estimated at around $1 million each, but from that point on, not only did he score points on 2 consecutive weekends by finishing P8 and P6, he managed to control the car much better and enter Q3 on several occasions. Now when talking about Schumacher and the chances that he'll remain the starting driver in Haas, Steiner said, "Absolutely, if you're working with somebody for 2 years, that's an advantage. The incumbent has always got the advantage, it's a home advantage. If you can have somebody you work with for 2 years, it's better than bringing somebody new in, because as I always said, you don't have the learning time. That's why we brought Kevin back as well, because he was here. He was out for a year, but he knew everybody, and that's always an advantage when you start from somewhere." Earlier this season, Steiner said that the team could not go anymore with the financial burdens that Mick was putting on its shoulders when it came to crashing the car. However, that seems to be a thing of the past now, and Schumacher is looking forward to proving himself in the remainder of the 4 races on the calendar in order to secure himself a seat in Haas. If, by some chance, the American team is looking away from Mick's contract, then they'll likely consider Nico Hulkenberg. Nico has been looking forward to making a return to the sport and did have 2 outings this season with Aston Martin at the beginning of the season. He's a driver with experience, and that's something that Haas will definitely need if they want to bring the team back into the constant points positions. However, the relationship between Magnussen and Hulkenberg isn't the best one, and it seems like Haas will have to deal with a little bit of chemistry issues if both of them are to pair up for the 2023 season. When talking about Nico Hulkenberg, Steiner had a lot of praise for the German, and it's evident that he's sitting high on the list of potential signings for Haas, as he added, "A man like Nico brings experience. What can a driver do to make the team better and bring us to the top? How much risk do you want to take? With a young driver, you usually take more risk because you don't know how far he can go. You can't calculate that mathematically." Another driver that Haas will definitely consider in the upcoming period is Antonio Giovinazzi. The Italian had a free practice session in Monza and is yet to have one more in Austin this coming weekend for Haas. However, according to Steiner, these practice sessions have been completed because Ferrari asked them to, and not because Haas is genuinely interested in Giovinazzi as a replacement for Mick. Nevertheless, we know that Haas is under the influence of Ferrari due to it being an affiliated team with the Maranello squad, although Steiner did say on multiple occasions that the Haas seats have nothing to do with Ferrari and it's only him and Gene Haas that decide who'll start on the grid from 2023 and onwards. The last chance that Haas will have at signing a driver, if by any coincidence none of the earliest spoken drivers signed for the American team in 2023, is going to be Daniel Ricciardo. We know that the Aussie said that as things stand now, he's likely to be out of the 2023 grid, meaning that he doesn't want to race in a team just for the sake of it. However, Steiner did hint on multiple occasions that Danny is a good candidate, and it's up to him to decide whether or not he'll be considered as a candidate for Haas. In his situation, Daniel first has to decide for himself what he does. It makes little sense to persuade him to do something. He has to decide for himself. If he feels like it, he'll certainly call. Otherwise, he'll probably say, "I'll do a sabbatical or something else," said Steiner. So, with that being said, it's evident that Haas will endure an interesting period ahead of them. The options are here. There are drivers that are eager to either make a comeback to the sport or prove they're still made out of F1 material, and Haas has to choose from one of them. So, what do you think will be their next move? Let us know in the comments below.